So we're currently in first, second, third. Let me get a quick measure of the volume. We're looking at the volume. Okay, volume was healthy in first shift, second shift. Okay, about half. Third shift. Okay, slight drop off. So we have a new hourly candle coming in 40 minutes. So this hourly candle we're seeing right here is relatively fresh. It's only 20 minutes old. It's only 20 minutes old. So keep in mind, if you zoom out and think of that daily candle, we're above yesterday's highs, but we're wicking back below it. All right, that's what it looks like. And we're trading in the $2 range, very tight. ATR is 54 cents. So if you're on Discord audio, the Google Meets link is in the chat if you're looking for that. Could have played that reclaim, but nothing too high probability here. If you're playing that orb, if you like that orb retest, right? That 15-minute orb, if you keep that on your chart, that 596.79, 596.80 could be potentially there, along with second shift slows. Okay. VIX starting to pull back a little bit. VIX is stuck between the 1741 lows and that 1795, this zone here. So very, very tight range for the VIX as well. That's about a 54 cent range. 54 cent range. So let me know in the chat, how's everyone looking? Green, red, yellow. So no trades from me up until this point. I don't like to trade from my phone. Right, although that setup was there, I don't like to trade from my phone. It's very easy to overtrade. Especially for me, it's very easy to overtrade when you're trading on the phone. Okay, nice little rejection off of these lows here. That probably pushed into the 20. All right, right into that 20. You can see, but nothing super high probability here. Nothing super high probability. Just waiting for something to present itself. So nice rejection off these lows here. So the previous session lows, not second shift's lows, but this current session's lows. Gravitate back towards the 20. See if you can fall back below that 596.09. 596.09. So if this can have enough fuel to push us back into these lows down here, 595.53, that's when I'm looking to get active. All right, paying close attention to this territory right here. So nice little rejection there. We got a level there, got the moving average there, quick little scalp into that 596.09. That's about 21, 20 cent, 20 cent push to the downside. All right, so you're gonna have to have realistic expectations about the amount of points you can catch. We're moving 54 cents per 5-minute candle. So what that means is, in order for you to catch at least 54 cents on a move, you're gonna have to at least be in that position for 5 minutes, right? If it meets the ATR. Okay, so in this case, it's if you want to be more patient, if you want to buy more time, get the further dated contracts, or just take the 0 DTEs, and if you see profit, take profit, and have that approach. Right, we're just moving 54 cents per 5-minute candle. If you divide that by 5, that gives you more context on how that 1 minute ATR is. Right, a little over a dollar, 10 cents per minute. Actually, a little under 10 cents per minute. That's why we're in this $2 range. That's why we're in that $2 range. Let's take a look at what's going on across the board. What's going on across the board? Back and missed that put. Yeah, that put right there. Yeah, short-lived. It was a nice little scalp opportunity into that previous day close. As soon as the game with that previous day close, buyer stepped in, pushed it back up. Double inside on the 5. Let's take a look at what's going on across the market. So the Qs are hugging that 9 as well. They're not at the 20 yet, near that daily upside breaker. VIX, all the way there. We know where the VIX is. Dow's right at the 20. IWM sitting right at the 20 as well. MSTR, Apple is coming back to test that 200. 200 EMA on the hourly. Meta is looking to come back to potentially test that 9. So Meta had a nice pop here during pre-market into first shift, and Meta potential right. If you take this downward compression flag kind of formation, if you laser into the lower time frames, potentially can spot an opportunity. Google is trading below the 9 and that 20, intraday downtrend below that 200 as well. Nvidia is sitting right at that 20. Again, continued intraday uptrend, sitting right at that 20 EMA, right above that 140 psychological level. Amazon not doing much. Microsoft testing that 9, looking to bounce off that 9. Uptrend. Tesla took a dump off the open, right? Dump off the open in the pre-market into Monday's lows. So it's sitting near Monday's lows. So if you're bearish on Tesla, right, maybe get a push back into that 388.59, get some sort of price action combination and a rejection off that 9 since we're below that 200 in pursuit of that 327.33 and potential lower lows. Netflix continues to rip to the upside. Lilly, a nice pump in pre-market and off the open, potential retest of that 9. Walmart's sitting at this critical level. It's at that 99.90, so that 100 level on Walmart will be critical. Palantir bouncing off that 200, came into that 130 psychological level, or is trading slightly below that 130 psychological level, looking to overtake that 130. If it can break and hold above that, continue to push higher, that can present an opportunity. TSM looking strong as well. All right, so couple of bright spots. Couple of bright spots here and there. Anyone looking to take this breakdown? Possible breakdown brewing. If it breaks below that, previous day close, you can use these lows as your line in the sand to time that breakdown. Breaking close below 596.09. Nice little slide to the downside to that 595.80. Comes into this territory. We take that bounce back to the upside. All right. So if it does break down, I'll probably take that thing to the downside into that month left side breaker. So I'm going to be using less size here. I'm going to be using less size since it's midday. And don't catch that breakdown. If you're in the breakdown, manage accordingly. Right. You want price to stay below that 596.09. I'll take that retest. If we can get a retrace reject, I'll be there for it. If it doesn't retrace, then I just have to let that go. Right, nice little setup there. Accumulation break. See if we get that retrace. Okay, see if I get filled there. Okay, filled. Nice. All right, up 4. So I'm going to use that 596.09 as my line in the sand. I want price to continue to push lower. We're below the previous day close. I want price to continue to push lower. That would be great. We have room into the session lows. Up 6, up 4. See if we can get a continue to push. If you did take this, manage accordingly. See if we can push it to 595.80. So I want price to stay below previous day close. Up 6. I'm going to take a little bit off there. Okay, took a little bit off at 6. And now I'm priced to stay below previous day close. Anyone take that? Up 7. Manage accordingly, guys. See profit, take profit. If we reclaim that, I'm going to close runners. Off that 596.09, I was able to squeeze 6. So I want a convincing close above it. If we come back into it in a wick, that's great. If we convincingly close above it with strength, right, then my time with this setup is done. So back at break even here. See what kind of action takes place here. Okay, I'm gonna close it right there. Close the runners there. Okay, so small little profit there on that retrace reject. About a 6% opportunity. Little profit. Short-lived. Right. Reason why I'm using this previous day close as a critical area is because I know once we reclaim it, bulls can start stepping in. So they're essentially able to buy SPY at yesterday's closing price. Okay. Which is pretty good deal if you think about it just from that perspective. If we break back below it, we could potentially entertain it. So a quick single digit scalp. It did peak at like 7%. Right. So what I was looking for here is I want that full breakdown into here and then ride that thing back to the upside. It looks like most of you are done your work for today. Most of you are done your work for today. Trying to get caught up in the chat. Fantastic first trade of the day. Alright, see if we get back below that level. Ugly candles. Ugly candles. If you're paying attention to the 5, you want this. On the 5, you want this. If you're bullish, you want this candle to hold as a 3 up. If you're bearish, you want this to flip all the way back to being a sell block, potentially wicked. All right, so this close is going to be critical on the 5. This close is going to be critical. Make sure to like the video on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. Let us know where you're joining from. Okay, so the first trade took this for a quick scalp, single digit scalp, real quick. Okay, wanted a little bit more out of it, but see it, take it. What we're pushing to the downside on the hourly. We're respecting this 20. So we came into this 20 3 times, right? So 3 times, same kind of response. There's a third time a charm for the bears, and do they finally break through that 20? We're starting to sell back to the downside. Can't get back above that 20. Really eyeing how this candle plays out on the 5. When it's all said and done in the next 55 seconds, what is it going to look like? So very messy. Price is very messy. Yeah, same thing. We're looking at the same thing, JB. You took it to the downside. Nice little push to the downside. If we can hold below 596.09, right, we can potentially seek this 595.80, right? Right, so never really got stopped out here. So if you're using that 596.41 as your stop, right, for the idea. So I took the retrace reject single digits. You see, never got stopped out. So as far as drawdown, maybe you saw high single digits, low double digits. So I can fix it like this. Maybe it wants to widen a little bit. Level 2 starting to speed up here. Time of sale starting to speed up. So we need a decision off of this previous day close. If you're on YouTube, make sure to answer the poll to get a feel for how everyone is doing. So far, 38% of you are green, 38% of you are break even. Okay? And 25% of you are red. Okay, see if that breakdown holds. Who's in puts? Do we have any bears? Any bears in the building? Any bears? Price is ugly in this territory. So someone has to be declared a victor here. Let this thing clear out of this range. We're heading into, okay, new shift, guys, new shift. If you traded this shift, make the proper adjustments. Do your quick recap. Do the mental check. All right. So for me, took one trade, one little retrace reject off that previous day close. Was able to secure single digit profits. Gave the runner some room to run. Stopped out on the runner. Okay, so that was the idea on trade 1. So first shift's lows. Okay, if we continue to show this pattern where we're taking out the lows, we're holding below those lows. Not first shift. Third shift's lows are right at that 595.80, 595.80. All right, so I like how this is brewing. Right, I like how this is brewing off that 595.53 for that bounce. Okay, and my approach is potentially, I mean, there's a little wide for a scalp, 53 cent stop. But really the way I'm going to gauge it is, say if we come into it, we break through it, I can potentially take the reclaim. Okay. If we come into it and we have that aggressive, like yesterday, if we have that, come into it and have that instant response, I'll be in there for it. Right. If we dip into that 595.53 and that 595.95 into that territory, I'll consider it. Okay. So between this territory, between that 53 cent range, I'm looking to take this thing back to the upside. And there's many ways to approach it. The approach can vary depending on what price decides to do. Okay. We can't create separation away from that previous day close. Bear flag or fake out breakout. That's what it's looking like. Almost like a symmetrical triangle, but I'll lean more towards a bear flag. Reason being, we're coming off of this push. Right, look at the leg, where we're coming from. Would just be a continuation of this little, like the downside that we saw. So about a 60-40. 60-40 will be predicated on if we can hold above previous day close, or if we fall below it and hold to the downside. So that's the key level that's in between both areas. Okay, let's see if we get that continued push. This is why I love first shift and second shift. Unless it's a trending day, unless it's a clear trending day, you're not going to get those clean moves. Okay, we're starting to push here. So we're officially in a fourth shift. First, second, third, fourth, okay? Starting to break out. See if it's legit. VIX pulling back to the downside. VIX has room into 1755. See if you can hold. Give me 1 second. Good afternoon, everyone on YouTube. Let's make sure to like the video. Trump just spoke with Putin. That might be behind. Is that being broadcasted? I don't think so. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. If you're a long-time viewer, you know we usually go for the pre-market and the opening drive from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So today we're doing things a little bit different. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. And make sure to answer the poll question. Answer the poll question. Answer the poll question. It's a nice little fake out there. If you guys were able to navigate through this, guys, and if you're green through here, right, great job. The reason is because coming off of yesterday, it's really hard to kind of look for the opposite thing. It's really hard not to be influenced by the amount of strength you saw the previous day and start fresh and reset, right? It's almost like a euphoric feeling when you catch the trend to the upside. Right, so we're most vulnerable. Traders are most vulnerable coming off of those huge trending days when we have those double-digit profits. Some of you caught 60, 50, 70, 80, even triple-digit profits. So the very next day, you're still on that kind of, you're rolling high. So these are the kind of days where you have to put what took place the previous day behind you and just take what the market gives you. Okay, so if you're looking for the trend today, you're getting absolutely taken out. right? We're just whipsawing in both directions. Of course, the key levels are holding up, but it's whipsaw action. No one could really dictate the pace. And this is just going to be a medium time frame, right? Intraday, this can just be accumulation. More than likely, today can just be accumulation. We accumulate before we have another expansion. If you're waiting for the expansion, we're going to have to break above these highs. So textbook, break, hold, retest, bounce into 600. Once we get into this territory between this 598, the high of the zone, and that 600, that's a nice little runway. Once we get into 600, guys, things can start heating up. Okay, things can start heating up. Why? Okay, now if we just take a look at it from psychological moves, we have 600. Okay, 605. All right, 610. 615. So how many psychological levels are we away from those highs? If we get above that 600, 1, 2, just 2. And the next psychological level above 610 is 615, and that's automatically an all-time high. So the trend, intraday, the trend remains strong. Intraday, the trend remains strong, right? This is, to me, this is just accumulation. We're just accumulating. As long as we respect this 50, as long as we respect this 200, trend is here to stay. If we do pull back, if we do pull back, this can be the shallow pullback. If we pull back a little bit more, right, I'll even consider that 595 a shallow pullback. If you just throw a fib trace on this, we'll tell you what you need to know. So from Friday, May 30th lows, okay? From Friday, May 30th lows, the current move, until now, if we put back the golden pocket, 38 to 61, okay? So the golden pocket is right here. Golden pocket is right here. And that's when you get that healthy pullback, relatively healthy pullback. So that 595 is just shallow. It's a shallow pullback. All right, so if we pull back, a healthy pullback, we'll be into that 50, into the zone. But as long as 200 is respected on the hourly, more than likely, unless we do something like that, we have no catalyst, nothing to really fuel that kind of move. Okay, we'll take this level by level. And the most recent low is all the way down here. You can kind of consider this a low as well. But if you take a look at the trend, where is the most recent low? So starting to bounce here. See if we can get back above. We have third shift highs up here. Might be seeking the VWAP. VWAP 1 is at the 597. VWAP 2 is at the 596.97. So about a 3-cent split. Okay, where is the poll located on YouTube? This morning is call season right now. It's puts. Depends. If you're already in calls, of course, that retest was there. Calls, but if you're looking for a clear direction to last an hour, you're gonna have to wait for this hourly candle. We have 12 minutes left on this hourly candle. So if this hourly candle, okay, we came into this 20, guys. How many times did we touch this 20? First touch, second touch, third touch. All 3 times, similar kind of reaction. The question becomes, did this retest, is this retest sufficient for us to hold above that 9 on the hourly, for us to go hammer, and then in the next 12 minutes, get another hourly candle. We break above that hourly candle, push into the highs of 11 o'clock, into, okay, right here, into second shift highs. That's the question. In order for us to do that, we need to reclaim both VWAPs. In order for us to do that, we need to get above that 597.08, which is that daily upside breaker. All right? That's the approach. But I'm liking how this hourly candle is looking, Taco Vix. So nice little breakout here. We're at that orb level, that 15-minute orb level. check on the likes. Make sure to like the video on YouTube. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. See if we can get back above that orb there. So I'll wait for that 12 minutes. I'll wait for that 12 minutes for this hourly candle to close. Like how the VIX is dumping here. Nice push to the downside. If VIX can break down and pursue this 1741 from where it is now, that will open up the door for that to take place. If we can get it back above that daily upside breaker, 597.08, that's when I'll look to potentially go long. Okay, if you're in longs, right, this really starting to work in your favor. If you're taking it back to VWAP, VWAP is right there at that 596.97, 596.99. So VWAP 1 and VWAP 2 are very close to one another. Reason being because we're not moving as fast. We're not moving as fast. And we did gap up this morning too. So let me mark out that TOG BOG. TOG BOG. Again, guys, on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. We're knocking on the door 2K subs, okay? So thank you for the support, guys. We're a small channel, growing every day. If you're looking to make the most out of your time, to take advantage of all the resources, smartactiontrading.com. Go to the community tab. You get access to all the resources, live trading with no delays, ad free, and you get to be part of an awesome community. All right, so let's see if we can reclaim that PMH or PML, that pre-market low. So this right here lines up with that orb. So actually this is the previous day's pre-market low. So this is to be ignored. This is to be ignored. All right, so ignore that line. That's actually the TOG. There we go. So anytime we're trading between that 596.45, 596.79, we're going to jaws at that gap. We did fill that gap. We gapped up to open up. We sliced right through it, got back above it, bounced off it a couple of times, and now we're right back at that TOG. Kind of do this. You can kind of see something there. So 7 minutes left on that 5 minute hourly candle. So what happens here? Break above VWAP or reject? Do we hold VWAP or do we reject VWAP? Reclaim or reject? We'll see what happens. We shall see. Again, the importance of taking profit here, right? Nice little 6% trade. So if you're just joining us, we jumped on live at 12 o'clock. We've been streaming for about an hour. Our usual program is between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Comprehensive pre-market program followed by live trading. So this right here is the importance of just taking profits, those quick profits, right? 6% more than I had coming into the day. Okay? So take those little quick profits, very, very important. And currently we were looking to potentially break the downside and break out. We broke out. We continue to push higher. And now the question is, can we reclaim VWAP? Can we reclaim VWAP? We have a third shift highs all the way up here. That coincides with that monthly upside target. Right, for us to reclaim VWAP, what do we need here, guys? We need the VIX to complete a breakdown. Okay, we need the VIX to completely break down and start pursuing what? The levels down here. All right. Break down there, pursue that 1741. We can get that reclaim, push higher. If we curl back in and we use this as support, if this turns into support, we bounce, we curl back in, we try to make our way back to the upside, more than likely it's going to turn to a rejection. So get that move. Oh, everyone on Discord, I was on mute. My apologies. I was on mute the whole time. So I was on mute. I don't know how long I was on mute for on the Discord. Yeah, I see it, JB. Is that purple line your VWAP? On your chart? That purple line, that purple solid line. So look how messy this action is. Look how messy the action is. Nice little flag up there after the nice push. See if we can get back above that 596.79, 596.80. That TOG. Okay, be mindful of the VWAP. Nice little break, hold above that 596.80. Nice room into 596.99. That's about a 20 cent, 19 cent runway. Do I love this setup for me to take it? No. Is it a legitimate bull flag break potential? Yes. Okay, see if the VIX can break down. If the VIX can start breaking down, it's going to give it some fuel. Okay, the time I'm going to be interested is we can reclaim this daily open, get back above that daily upside breaker. This is when I'm starting to put my bullish hat on. Okay, because what that's going to tell me is we're holding above VWAP. We're back above that daily open. Daily open's at 596.96. We're back above that daily open. So bulls really want to take this to the other side. Okay, and from that daily open reclaim and that daily upside breaker push, we have a nice runway into third shift highs. Okay, so that's the idea here. That's the idea. What a lackluster afternoon. So make sure to vote, guys. That's your daily performance on your daily trading performance. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. We got a minute left, guys. A minute left. A minute left. 1 minute. So that hourly 2 down 2 up reversal is going to take place if we can reclaim that 596.96. So you see how those two things coincide. If you're looking to play that reclaim, right, you have a nice measured risk right here, 16 cents. If your risk is 50 cents, you have that nice measure move down there. Right, basically using the hourly and that breakdown on the VIX to see if you can take this thing to the upside. Right, I'll start off with my risk about this wide, about 27 cents. Right, just for reference. See if I can get that push. So multiple things reclaiming, price reclaiming VWAP 1, VWAP 2, price getting back above that daily open, and price going 2 down, 2 up on the hourly. So reversing on the hourly. So multiple things converging off of this 596.96 level. All right, so the way you want to approach it, just apply your entry model to see if you have anything to catch it. Okay, if you don't feel comfortable, don't touch it. If it's a setup you like to trade, see how you can get into it. And when you get into it, make sure you know what you're risking. All right, we're starting to speed up here. I like that. Looking at the 596 calls. See if you get a nice push here. We're directional. About to be directional on the hourly. That's our first interaction with VWAP. I like how the VIX is breaking down. In my case, if you want to break and hold, you want to break and hold on the 5 above VWAP 1 and VWAP 2. Okay, VIX is breaking down. See if we can pull back. If we can initially reject, I like that too. Okay, I'll take it there. All right, see if I can get that reclaim of that daily open. Up 3. See if we get a push into that daily upside breaker. See if I get that continued push. Okay, up 4. If you did take this, manage accordingly. I want price to stay above that 596.96. Stay above 596.96. Accelerate past 597.08. I like that breakdown on the VIX there. See if we get that continued breakdown. Now I want us to hold. You see this 5-minute candle here? I want this 5-minute candle to hold above VWAP. Hold above VWAP. Up 4. See if we get that continued push. If you did take this, take profits where you need to. All right? Take profits where you need to. Now on continuation here. And on days where the ATR is very low, you're not going to get those massive dollar gains unless you have significant size. I'm going to take some off right there at 8. Take a little more off again. Okay, at 9. Down to runner. Who took that? Anyone catch that? Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, in a runner up 10. So again, in this case, I want price to stay above that daily open. Stay above that daily open, good to go. So waited for the setup, timed it, multiple things converging. Was patient, up 10. So you get that continued push into that 597.40. My trailing stop is VWAP. I already extracted profits. Trailing stop is VWAP. I like how the VIX is breaking down. Let's see if that continued push. We get that continued push into 597.40. Again, make sure to take profits where you need to, team. If you did take that, if you didn't, don't chase. Okay, don't chase. YouTube, anyone catch that? Take profits where you need to. What you'll notice is the dollar amounts on these contracts are not as nice. You should know why. ATR, 46 cents per 5-minute candle. We're not getting enough moves for the delta to really start. The delta is not really moving. Okay? We don't have enough range. Great job, thesis. Beautiful. You can use the VWAP as your runner, as your trailing stop or previous day or today's open, 596.96. That's what I'll probably do. So I already extracted profits. I'll just use the VWAP, close back below VWAP as my stop. Great job, Thesis. So the full breakdown, if you're on YouTube, go rewind and see how we caught this setup. There was multiple things we talked about that needed to happen. It wasn't just this bull flag. It wasn't just break above this level. There's a sequence of things that took place for the opportunity to really manifest, okay? There was a sequence of things that took place. The hourly, the daily open reclaim, that breakdown on the VIX, get back above both VWAPs, so multiple things converging, okay? Converging. Great job, Elaine. That's how we do it, guys. If you're in this, just make sure you have a good trail. Make sure you're taking some profit off the top. If you want to sit in it for as long as you want, but just have something to show for it, okay? Have something to show for. Our contracts are up 10%. See if I can get into third shift highs up here. That would be great. Beast and appreciate it, JB. That's how we do it, guys. That's how we do it. So if you're just joining us, we're short here, single digit profits. Decided to go long there. Managing the babysitting position now. Did reach all the way to 10%, currently up 9. Already extracted profits. So VIX has room to drop into the 1741. Has room to drop into 1741. So by the time it pursues at 1741, I need SPY to pick up the pace. All right, I need SPY to pick up the pace. The runway for SPY is into these highs up here. Okay, that's the runway for SPY. So I need the VIX to continue doing what it's doing. I need SPY to pick up the pace. If the VIX gets into 1741, gets that balance, more than likely we're going to get some rejection off of these two levels here. Okay, 597.40, 597.46. All right, if it rejects, so what? We're just using runners. Okay, we're just using runners. So we're just trying to see if these runners can start really running. All right, we're above both VWAPs. Appreciate it, JB. And if you already hit your target for the day, you don't have to take any of the trades, guys. Okay? Just observe, watch, see how we found this setup. And this is really nice because there's multiple things playing out. Multiple things converging. Why is the delta barely moving? Great question. Look at the ATR. Traders don't track the ATR. I'm not sure why. Okay? You need to be tracking the ATR. Okay? So this is why when the ATR is low, we're trading in a very tight range. If we're trading in a very tight range, the contracts have like very little room for them to appreciate. Okay, I'm going to use this 597.08. I don't want any closes below this 597.08 as my trailing stop. Okay, I'm going to use that as my trailing stop on a runner, still up 7-8%. Did peak at 10.11. All right, I'm trying to be patient here. Did that answer your question? Again, guys, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. We're live every day, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Most comprehensive pre-market program followed by live trading. And you can see the system, guys, works any time of the day. So when I say pick your shift and trade your shift, this is what I'm talking about. Okay? So you just have to adapt yourself. You have to gauge what took place and then just look for the setups. Just look for the setups. I'm going to close the runner here. 7. So I'm all out. Maybe I'm being impatient. Who knows? Was able to get something out of it. I'm okay with that. If we can hold above that 597.08, hold above that 596.93, that 9 should be good if you're holding those runners. Just depends how much risk you want to put on. If you're really trying to see this through, right? If you're feeling super risky, okay, Don't let it break back below VWAP. Have a line in the sand, a fine line in the sand, and say VWAP is it. VWAP is the line. So if you're just joining us, we just took this trade right here. Calls, nice push to the upside. If you're chasing, don't chase. You're gonna get hurt. Right. So two trades, both worked in our favor so far. Hold above that 597.08. We have room into third shift ties. Then things start getting dicey. Up here. So if you're looking to go short, do the opposite. 1741 bounce, 1949, 597.40, 597.46 reject. If it continues to show strength, if you're not in there already, guess what? You're gonna have to wait for this break above this level, hold above this level, hold or retest, reject, or whatever it is into PMH. Okay. So take it leg by leg. Take it one stair at a time. You don't need to skip stairs. Okay. Who's still in it? If you're still in runners, let me know in the chat. Still holding? No problem. Again, guys, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and join the Spy Strikers community. Of course, as soon as I leave, it starts pumping. All right. So you should be up at least 15% up there. At least 15%. Right. Not bad for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 minutes of work. You can't beat trading, guys. You can't beat trading. It was up, was barely moving, up 5% depending on the entry. Yep, close up 2%, 2 for 2 for the day, 5%, 2 for 2 for the day. Exactly. Great job. If you're using that 597.08 as that line in the sand or that VWAP, you should still be in it. I just got a little impatient there. So one thing I need to work on right in the summer months is if price is going to continue just to grind higher, grind lower, just being a little patient with the runner, right? The runners yesterday, I was trying to be as patient as possible. I was able to extract 51%, peaked at 70, but all in all, those same runners shot up to 200, 300%, right? So just giving the trade some time to breathe when it's right. Right, so making sure we secure profit first. Don't even think about entertaining runners if you don't know how to secure profit. That's why I really try to keep it as basic as possible. When you're at a point where you've been securing profit, when you're at a point where you've consistently been doing the right things over and over and over again, you have something to show for it, right? Then you can consider implementing runners, right? Because runners adds another layer of frustration. Okay, and sometimes runners can lead you to give back some of your profits back to the downside. So with my runners, I don't like when they get back into break even, or below break even, just because of the psychology. Right, I'm almost allergic to going green to red. I don't like that. Right, so even when my runner is green and it goes to red, since I want to stay as far away as possible as from going green to red, I don't like that. Right, so runners require a different psychology. All right, so if you're still in the process of taking profits, muscle memory, you have to be one shot, one kill. Okay, don't try scaling in, don't try to do anything elaborate. One shot, one kill. You're right, you get in. You're wrong, you get out. You're right, you take profit, you close it out, just pure transactional. All right, so once you've been doing that for a while, you can implement runners. All right, you can implement. Last week I talked about the difference between averaging down and scaling in. All right, there's a distinct difference. All right, and there's a fine line between averaging down and scaling in. All right, so very, very important for us to understand that. All right, so make sure to like the video on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. So far, we took 2 trades on live. Both worked in our favor. Getting a little bit of FOMO on this right here. Right, still has room. VIX is not at that 1741 yet. So let's see how we interact with this level up here. If we can break above these highs, break above third shift's highs, hold above it, continue to accelerate, come back for a pause, retest, we have room at that 597.95. All right. Great job, Thesis. Two for two for the day. Have a great job, 2002. Okay. New tweet alert. That's all you need to be in the Discord, guys, on YouTube. We got this new market news feed, so you don't need to be scrambling all over the place on X or whatever news source you use. All the news will be brought to you here. So look, breaking news posted about 12:47. Actually, it was about more than close to half an hour. Right. Just finished speaking on the telephone with President. They call it an hour 15 minutes. We discussed okay. When you're reading these, you gotta look for keywords. All right. Take it how you want. If you're looking to go short, understand you're kind of standing in front of a moving train. It's not a clear it's not a clear 1 minute trend yet. Hasn't been established. So just say, hey, you know what? Where are you going to mark your risk at? If you have a measured move, your measured move can be until second shift highs, about a 47-cent push, right? If you don't want that, you're just gonna have to have a discretionary place where you're gonna get stopped out. Okay, so I like to have my stops at measured moves, at levels, near levels, because once it's invalidated, it's invalidated. When there's nothing for me to invalidate it, I like to go the opposite way. Okay, so what I mean by that is just based on the measured move, I prefer it this way because I know where my risk is. Okay, but if you're looking for a quick scalp, can't see that rejection if the VIX starts bouncing. Preferably, I want the VIX to kind of come into that 1741 and then bounce. So if we hang out in this territory, right, this is third shift highs. So if you believe we're going to continue to grab liquidity throughout the day, you're going to want to be short in this territory. If you think it's a trend day, if you think we're going to expand, if you think this was the lows that we needed, if you think this was the low of the day and this was the higher low and this is the high, you're going to have to take it here to see if you can get the higher high. Okay, an uptrend requires there to be higher highs and lower highs. So if you believe this was the low and this was the higher low, right? It's safe to assume that for you to catch that higher high, that has yet to play out. This is the safest bet. If you want that expansion to higher highs, if you think we're going to continue to be range bound, right? Treat resistance as resistance, support as support. That's the approach, and play liquidity grabs. That's the approach. Look at the candles on the 5. Anyone still on runners? You're still in runners. You have more patience than me. You have more patience than me. I use view up as my stop. Great job, Panther. Right. But the primary thing is, if you're able to capitalize off that setup, forget about the return you get from that setup. You're going to give that money back at some point in time. What you need to understand, what you need to dissect, is how we were able to identify it. How were we able to identify it? Why were we long here? Go back and rewind. Go back and rewind to 1250. So write down 1250. If you go back and watch this episode once again, go back to 1250 and see the things that we were looking for us to really take this. I promise you those things repeat at a certain time. Okay? Go back and dissect what took place at that particular time. There was a handful of things I was looking for. So that's the things you got to pay attention to. Not necessarily the result or the outcome of a setup, but the mechanics of the setups. Right? So again, make sure you're taking profits. That was a pretty large candle back to the downside. Right? In comparison to what we've been seeing, we're now trading in a 39-cent range. Continue to get tighter. Again, we're grinding higher, but the thing is, we're grinding higher very slowly. Okay, we're grinding higher very slowly. If you're looking to go short, see if you can come into that 597.40. If you have a super tight stop, right, you can take 10-cent risk right here. So break and close above monthly upside break would invalidate you. If you can ride that thing back to VWAP or back to that daily downside breaker, could be there. High risk short. Make sure to like the video, guys. I'll probably take this back to the downside for a quick scalp. Quick rejection. See if we can get into that 597.38. 597.38 at least. I'll look to take it to the downside. Out with a small gain, too much yo-yo. Yeah, exactly. These conditions, guys, the gains are small. Okay? Because of the ATR. So that's the big lesson. So if you yesterday, what I want you to compare is a 10% gain, say for instance, a 10% gain on one contract yesterday in comparison to a 10% gain on one contract today. There are two different dollar amounts. Right? Two different dollar amounts. Why? Because of the ATR. Yesterday, I was talking about how we were moving in about a dollar, was about a 98 cents, a dollar, 98.98 points to 1.05, so 98 cents to a dollar point moves, and the ATR was beautiful. Now we're trading right about half of that, less than half. So the profits are cut in half. Okay, so if you're just joining us, guys, on YouTube, make sure to like. We just provided this trade idea here. Some people were able to capitalize. Right? Double-digit trade opportunity. Again, from my experience, this is just accumulation. If we can hold, let's put it like this. If we can hold above at 596.09 by the time we close and we chop around, I wouldn't be surprised if we gap up tomorrow. Right, gap up tomorrow above 600. Right, just an estimate. Right, but I wouldn't be surprised. Or gap up above at 597.87 by the time that opening bell rings. They're waiting for 2 p.m. to burn the 0 DTEs. Yep. At this point, they're burning everything. At this point, they're burning everything, trying to burn everyone. So a day like this is a day where futures, right, pairing futures along with this would be great. Okay. Good afternoon, Vinkat. Back to the downside. Right, puts. Nice spot to get puts here. Room at that 597.08. Moosey, long. If you're waiting for that VWAP retest, right here. If you took that, if you trade the VWAP break or the VWAP reclaim, you got paid. I'm looking to see if I can get a rejection at that 597.38, 597.40. I'll have a super tight stop. See if we get one more pump and take out those highs. So we're coming to the end of fourth shift, guys. End of fourth shift. If you want us to stay until power hour through the close on YouTube, let's see how many people got on live. Okay, let's get 30 likes. 30 likes. All right. Out on call. Great job. Anyone still trading the Discord, or are you guys done for the day? Let me know. Let me know. We can clearly see here. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see all this resistance up here, or this zone. Look at that. So whenever, this is a tip, whenever you see a strong level of resistance, you should get excited. Because if that strong level of resistance gets broken, it can turn to a strong level of support. So this, to me, of course, is resistance. We can treat it as resistance, but I get excited because if we break above those highs, we can really fly. So I can scalp these puts back to the downside. Use a little size here. Back to the downside on the puts. Risk is about 597.50. Close about 597.50. We'll look to shut it down. So third trade. See if we get a flush here. Okay. Continue flush would be great. Again, we have a ton of strength on the hourly, but I'm using this level for that rejection. Playing that liquidity grab. Okay. Up 2. See if we get some follow through here. Okay. Want some follow through here. I like how the VIX is bouncing. If we can influence this 5-minute candle turn into a shooter, that would be great. Stop is all that is at that 597.50. 597.50. Did see 2-3%. On the hourly, we're trending higher. I'm playing the Third shift liquidity grab. See if you get a flush. The likelihood of a clean flush, I'd love to see it, but it might just be a leg, a couple of candles lower. Okay, up 2. If you did take this, manage accordingly. Know where your risk is. Don't wait for me to say exit. Okay, up 4. See if we get that continued push lower. Okay. Take some off right there at 4. Down to runner. Alright, now I want price to stay below this 597.40. So locked in at 4. Down to runner. So runner gets back above 597.40. I'll cut it. If not, see if I can ride this thing back into that 597.08. I'm gonna close it right there. I'm gonna close that runner right there. So close that runner. So close the position. So secured at 4. Quick little scalp. If you're still in this, it still has room to go. Still going. I'm here until you're done, G. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Absolutely, VIX. So just been a little impatient, but again, I'll take 4. I'll take 4. If you did take that, right, manage accordingly. Maybe I didn't manage that accordingly as far as being a little more patient. I just don't trust the action. But nice breakdown. But again, from a technical standpoint, you can see what's going on. That's the biggest takeaway, guys. Don't focus on the profits. Focus on the process. Don't focus on the outcome. Focus on what took place here. All right? So if you're still in this, manage accordingly. That was a nice push to the downside. Maybe I could have sat through it for a little longer, but right now I'm just in take profit mode. All right, so 3 trades. Take profit, take profit, take profit. So now we're in fourth shift. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th shift, actually, guys. 5th shift. Okay, so we called the calls here. Trade idea there. We said it's going to get into this territory. We can get dicey. Took this to the downside. End of put, yo, just got out of the calls, exit from puts. It's dicey, guys, it's dicey. So it's see profit, take profit because of the ATR. I'm not comfortable with the ATR. If it means taking profits a little early, by all means. By all means, book some profit in the puts. Those small gains add up, team. But we can clearly see from a setup perspective, this is 3rd shift liquidity grab. Why am I interested in the liquidity grab in this kind of environment? Because we're not showing any expansion. We're not expanding. We are not expanding. We're just consolidating. When will we start expanding? Once we get out of this zone here. Once we get out of this yellow box. Okay, just rewind for a bit, guys. Look how much we expanded past 2 days. All right, off of the lows. 8-point move on Monday. Off of the lows. 8-point move. So 2 days of 8-point moves off of the lows. So now the market needs to inhale before it exhales. If it really wants to run, all eyes, write this down. 597.85, 598.30. If you're a bull, you need to have this level marked out. It doesn't matter what kind of trading style you have. It doesn't matter what kind of setups you have. Everything's going to be related to this level. If you're bullish, if you want to catch that big move, this is the only level you need to pay attention to. If you're looking for pullback balances, different story. Expansion, we need a break above that 597.85, 598.30. No ifs, ands, or buts. That can really start opening up the door. Right? That can open up the door. All right, if you're waiting for the break, you're going to have to be patient. Okay? That can open up the door into the 600. So there's multiple ways to approach it. You can play the break and hold. And then you can play the break and retest. If it retests. If you miss both of them. If we get into the 600. Okay? You play the rinse and repeat. Same kind of thing, guys. Okay? But granted, nothing plays out like this little line you see here. If you watch these strategy videos on YouTube, you know, trade this strategy. This strategy works. This strategy made me $10,000. This strategy made me $5 billion. Right? It's always pretty little lines. When was the last time you saw the market moving pretty little lines? Okay. We're starting to break up here. Okay. See if we can hold above that 597.46. VIX starting to slide to the downside. Take this off. Okay, nice break here. You can do the opposite now. If we hold above that level, retest. If you want to keep your wrist tight, use it into third shift highs. You can keep your wrist super tight if you want. I've been cool with 5 million. Yeah. I'm exaggerating, but you see all these different strategy videos, all right? So do this, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this. And the candles are beautiful. The lines are beautiful. Everything played out. Everything is in hindsight. Come on, guys. Let's be realistic. I know, Dr. Jones. All right. Right, so there's one thing to have the strategy, it's one thing to execute it. Two different, complete different things. All right, two complete different things. All right, so if you're playing that retest opportunity here, depending on how you want to gauge it. If you play the break, extract your profits. If you want to hold. But really, guys, most of your work should be done. All right. So if you're still trading until now, more than likely you're going to start giving back some profits. Okay. Most of the work should be done. If you're still trading, you should be significantly sizing down. Right. So far I took 3 trades. All 3 trades worked in my favor. Right. Could have let this one breathe a little bit. Right. Extract the profits 8, 9. This one extract the profits 6. This one extract the profits 4. All right. So another grab. So I just grabbed the previous session's highs. All right. So very, very important. So I recommend not trading more than 3 sessions actively. So again, on YouTube, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. If you're a first-time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. If you're a long-time viewer, right, you're completely missing out on the resources you can have access to. If you're tired of losing, if you're tired of giving money to the markets, join the community. We have the resources, the proven tools, and a proven community to really support you on your journey to become profitable. Okay? All the traders in the Discord are committed to the journey. So you want to be in a place where everyone is committed. Okay? It's going to rub off on you. Doesn't mean we're going to be green every single day, green every single trade. No. But the bigger picture, we want to lean towards being green. So my goal is to get everyone as close as to green as possible. All right, that's my goal, for not just for everyone in the community. It's to get you as close as green as possible. All right. So if you've been struggling for the past, if you're in a little funk, send me a private message. Put a message in the chat. I'm more than willing to take some time to respond to you and provide you with the things that can help you. All right. This is a community. All right. It's not you just come in here, you take my signals, and you walk away. No, I want you to learn. I want to cultivate that community. So at any given point, one of our members, okay, can outtrade people who have their own community. That's how I want it to be. So everyone, our members, completely capable. All right. So if you want to surround yourself with winners, if you want to be on a winning team, smartactiontrain.com/community. Right, take advantage of that. Nice little grab right there. See how I grab those highs? Trap. Here's a recent text I received from a trading service on Discord. You learn about stop losses, entries, and exit points from avoiding profit negative gain, investing tools, and safeguarding profit risk management. Program auditor your account. I currently 60 plus members are dedicated weekly. Let me know if you're interested. 10 to 20K weekly. It's possible. It's possible. Again, before it used to frustrate me, but now I'm not in the business of minding other people's business. I'm in the business of minding my own. Right? If someone says, okay, I mean, fantastic. That's my approach now. Right? The more the merrier. All right? But as long as you're doing good by your community, as long as you're trying to, if you're giving everything you have, right? You're trying to position them the right way, and you're not building a community to sell them out, and then just to funnel them into some service, and then just turn them over, right? It's possible, but to me, the way I measure it is community should be measured by the members. All right, the members. Are the members able to trade on their own? Are the members confident in their setups? Are the members learning to put certain guardrails in place so they don't go off the rails? Right, and not be beholden to the community leader. I'm just here as the coach, guys. I'm just the liaison. That's it. That's a fancy, I think it's a French word. All right. Pretty Lion. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Dogecoin trading beginner. So let me know how that's going. Dogecoin. Hello. Pretty lines is always true. All cappers. Hopium. Yep, that's true. That's true, guys. So again, guys, link in the description. I added some calls here. Great job, Vinkat. How are we looking on the Google Meets? Thank you, George. Appreciate it. So if you want to make 10 to 20K weekly, it's very possible. But you're going to have to use, if you want to make it by taking very little risk consistently, you're going to have to use probably a $250,000 account. Okay? If you want to sustain those kind of gains, at least a $250,000 account. That's the realistic way. Right, so if you go to smartactiontrading.com, all right, this site is going to be a place for the best tools and resources, guys. You go to SAT tools, okay? You go to the calculator. Let's do the math real quick, all right? So I said 25, $250,000. Okay, $250,000. You risk about risk off. You risk about 25. The bigger your account, the less risk you want to take because you have more leverage. All right. So if you risk 1%, that's basically you can trade 2,500. That might be on the low end. Let's say moderate. That's a little high too. Conservative, 5% risk. So you can trade 12 grand per position. With that 12 grand, okay, if you want to be moderate or aggressive, 15% return on that 12 grand per position is about 1,800. All right, so 1,800 is how much you want to risk. That's your expected reward. What kind of risk reward do you want to have? So are you willing to lose 1,800 to make 3,700? Are you willing to lose 1,800 or up to 1,800 to make 1,800? That's when that comes into play. What's your win rate? Where do you fall on this spectrum? So say in perfect world, you have that $250,000 account, like I said, person makes 10 to 20K weekly. So even if you have an ultra aggressive and you're looking to take 20% gains on that 12K, right? That's about $2,500 per trade. Okay, so maybe you take 10 trades and maybe you take 20 trades. Out of those 20 trades, 10 to 13 work in your favor, and maybe you're in the neighborhood of 10 to 13K per week. So if you have a $250,000 account. If you have 10K account, okay, this is math, guys. Ultra aggressive. The math is not on your favor. The reason why you need to use this kind of math is because you're trying to get results that are repeatable. I'm not saying hitting home runs is not repeatable. Base hits are repeatable. Okay, so you're risking about 400. You're looking to make 400, 20% on that position. That's how it's looking, guys. All right. So make sure. So if someone has 7-figure account, it's completely different. Okay. 7-figure account is very easy. Okay, 10K, conservative, aggressive. Is someone using it? Okay, ultra aggressive, 2K. So sometimes the numbers that people throw out there is just eye candy, guys. It's just eye candy. All right, it's just eye candy. Thanks, George. That's awesome. Yep, no problem. All right, so so you have to use this. You have access to this calculator, smartactiontrading.com. Okay, I call this the fruits of consistency. Once you understand this, okay, this is the third piece, right? I talked about risk management, risk management, strategy, mindset, psychology. This is one of the pillars you need to understand in the risk management bucket. Okay, you need to understand this. A lot of traders fall in love with this. Oh, if I make $10 a day, I can make this extra. If I make $1,000 a day, I can make $250,000 a year. Okay, you can fall in love with this. This is called Excel math. Excel math is not real math. Okay, don't get lost in the spreadsheet. This gives you an idea. It's a reference. It shows you what's possible. Now with this information, you got to apply it to your trading. Every trade you take, you have to understand you're on a certain path. You take your trading more seriously. You treat your $1,000 account more seriously. You treat your $5,000, your $25,000, $100,000 account more seriously. If you're not treating your account seriously, I promise you, if you have a $100,000 account, $250,000 account, you're not gonna all of a sudden wake up and be serious. Okay? If it's not in you, you're not gonna find it. So it's better to put those things inside yourself on a smaller scale. Learn those things, because I promise you, if you're consistent, the opportunity will come where you have to manage big amounts of capital, and that's a different ballgame. That requires a different kind of psychology. All right, and the losses are significantly harsher. Okay, so again, this is the kind of environment you're going to be in. All right, that's what we're about. Preach, my brother, but play this This is the boring math to master that no one preaches on the internet. Absolutely. So again, that's on the Discord. That's available. That was available exclusively to my members. But this is a calculator I've been using for a long time. I have multiple calculators like this. All right. So I made it available because I care about the community. Again, guys, smartactiontrading.com/community. $44 a month. You get access. Price will continue to go up. The amount of value you get is unmatched. I'm telling you. Okay. So you definitely want to line yourself up with our team. So make sure to like, guys. So it looks like we're going double top here. See if you can hold above that 597.46. But it's very important for you to use this calculator. I would say every week. Okay? Just reinforce the math. But don't fall in love with the math. Don't fall in love with the math to the point where you extrapolate. If you trade this many days and you get this return. It's one thing to do. It's the same thing as drawing lines like this on the chart. If this happens, this happens, I do this. It's one thing to draw it. It's one thing to forecast it. It's another thing to actually do it. All right? It's another thing to actually do it. It's another thing to actually execute. So now you understand the importance of managing your risk, cutting your losses quickly, securing profits. You're not falling in love with the percentage gains. You are falling in love. You're trying to follow the path of consistency. Okay? That's the path you're going after. Okay? So very, very important that you implement that kind of mindset. If not, just give it to the market. It's a matter of time before the market takes everything you have. All right? So you might be curious to say, why would a person as a community talk like this? Because it's the reality. You're better off taking your 1K, your 5K, your 10K, and handing it to someone who needs it, rather than trying to trade it. You'll feel so much better doing that than you trying to trade it, have unrealistic expectations, and the market puts you through a ringer and it breaks you. Trust me. Okay? So I would advise that for people who are not serious. Just like any endeavor, guys, you got to take it serious. Okay? So the people in our community are serious. Thank you. I don't have that kind of goal. I just want to stay in the game green for now. Stay green every day is my goal. Absolutely. Thank you for showing that. I'm cautious. My daily goal is very modest. VWAP flat. My anchor VWAP flat. Everything is relatively flat. Right. It just comes down to what we do day to day, week to week. And believe it or not, if you just focus on the process, the profits will come. If you focus on the profits, don't have a process, you will never profit. Okay, you will never profit. You can't expect to sow when you never reaped. Okay? So I can't go to the field and expect something to grow out of the ground if I never planted the seeds. It's going against a universal law. Okay? There's laws that the universe goes by. Okay? And that's one of them. You get what you put in. Right? You reap what you sow. Good or bad. Okay, we're double topping here. Not really interested in anything here. See if we can get above this. If we double top, that double top really plays out, gets back below the third shift's highs, we can possibly come back into that VWAP 597.08. Right, but nothing high quality here. So I was able to take 3 trades. All 3 trades worked in my favor. Again, didn't trade anything here, but that was a great opportunity right there. All right. That was a nice little bounce there. And the beautiful thing is, outside of the profits, guys, if you learn how to trade, if you can consistently do it, okay, you get to have the most precious resource, your time. What everyone is really fighting for is for time. Right? So what everyone is trying to really do is try to get their time back. It's like, work enough so you can get your time back. And the way everything is set up is you got to work 30 to 35 years to get your time back. You got to buy back your time. But we have this tool, we have this skill that you can learn, that you can accelerate that process through trading, through swing trading, through investing, through leap trading, everything you need. Multiple. So I encourage all people who scalp, you have to be invested. You can't just be a scalper, right? You have to put back some of your profits back into the market, right? Whenever you see 20%, that's why I was screaming from the rooftop, guys, we're down 20%. You have to buy now. Forget everything else. When something is down 20%, when the market is down 20% and the fear and greed is at 6, to me, long term, it's a buy. Automatically. Eyes closed. Don't even care what the levels are. Because in 5 years, you'll thank yourself. But if we're trading, if we're scalping, it's a different mindset. So you have to learn all these skills. And the beautiful thing is you can use one ticker, guys. Just one ticker. One ticker to scalp. One ticker to intraday trade. One ticker to swing. One ticker to long-term invest. One ticker to use leaps. So you can essentially narrow your universe to this one ticker and use it in multiple ways. All right, so very important that we always think about that. I also have realistic goals. Supplementing my income, 10K per year would be awesome. Absolutely. Time is irreplaceable. Absolutely. Absolutely. Process over profits. I decided to value my money this year, and it paid off. I like what you're preaching, so I appreciate it. Kiddo313. So we're above that monthly upside target, 597.46. So don't let all this price action deceive you. If you look on the higher time frames, we're directional to the upside. We're bullish on the monthly. We're bullish on the weekly. So don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Okay, don't lose sight of the bigger picture. It doesn't mean you can't take it to the downside to scalp, but overall, don't lose sight of where we are. On days like this, it's very easy to lose sight of where we are because price is not moving that much. It's just an accumulation. Okay, we're just accumulating. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Inputs, book profit on calls. Inputs, great job, Venkat. See if you can hold above that 597.46. If we can, we have runway into that 597.97 pre-market high. I like this right here, guys. If we can get above pre-market high. Okay. Earlier we talked about how I love when there's resistance. Okay. Breakouts really come when resistance fails to hold. Really strong breakouts. So there's this resistance is clearly all the way from Asian session, London session, all the sessions all the way into New York Open. Rejection, 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 rejection. What do you think is going to happen? Okay, just from a logical standpoint, if the same amount of sellers don't step in, if more buyers step in than sellers, if we start to accelerate above that 597.95, right? We have a runway. Okay. So the approach would be, okay, if you see this potentially brewing, what mechanism do you have in place to capitalize off of it? It's not just blindly, hey, I want this resistance to turn to support, so I'm going to take it here. That doesn't work. So you have to have a mechanism in place. You have to check your pockets, see what you have to take advantage of it. It's like a Swiss Army knife. Think of your setups as a Swiss Army knife. Okay? Think of your setups as a Swiss Army knife. In this kind of case, you need to pull out a tool to take advantage of a potential break of resistance, hold above resistance, so we have to look for different things. Otherwise, if you're looking to take this back to the downside, look for different things as well. Either or, the next move is going to be associated with the level up here. Okay? So let me know in the chat, are we looking to go short here? Are you bullish or bearish off of this? Do we reject or do we break? So let me know in the chat. Reject or break? Reject or break? Yes, true. Yep, time I always said 35 years. Yep, time I always said 35 years to get my time back, but let me say it takes 5 years to master trading and take the time back. Sign me up, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. I'm cautious as well, staying in the present, staying green and not greedy. Absolutely, great job. Yeah, the kind of traders we have, guys, it's just, I mean, to see everyone interacting in the chat, it was so awesome. Right, it was so awesome to see everyone interact. Reject maybe tomorrow 600. Yeah, before. So you're saying, but for us to get to 600, we gotta get above this 597.95. So how are we looking, guys? Bullish or bearish? Once price gets here, are we bullish or bearish? Bullish. Let us know. Let me know. Bullish. I think break at some point. Too many attempts at resistance. One will be successful soon. So we're quickly approaching it. Quickly approaching it. Agree? Vix will tell what to do. Agree and bearish. So again, guys, on YouTube, make sure to join the Discord, all right? Join the Discord. Surround yourself with a great community. Okay, you get access to my pre-market game plan, post-market recap database, 500 plus hours of live trading content, weekly lessons, live trading, no delay on voice, video, right? Thriving community. Okay, so make sure to take advantage of that, all right? See what takes place here. My approach is, if I'm going long, see if I can trail out EMA below it. Break, hold, retest possible. But 30 cent risk. I want a clear break above it because I like that runway above it. I like that runway. If you're looking for the reject, do the opposite. Look for the reject, do the opposite. Exit from puts with a loss. Great way to manage risk, Vinkat. So if you're just joining us, guys, we already took 3 trades. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the one that I'm starting to get FOMO off of is this one. We were in the calls here. Right, so what it's looking like, it's if you're right, after you extract those profits, just let the runner run until it doesn't run anymore. That might be the motto for June. Do we have any news? Okay. OpenAI top 3. MLM. Playing business. Breaking. Everything's breaking. Musk has ended the hip. JPM allows trading and wealth management clients to use crypto ETFs as collateral for loans. All right, new hourly candle as well. Bulls have run. Bulls can really push this, guys. If the VIX starts dumping, we can really start pushing. The poll's on YouTube, Taco Vix. Poll's on YouTube. Polls on YouTube. Poll is on YouTube. YouTube Live. And make sure to subscribe. 60% of you are watching and not subscribed. So make sure to subscribe. All right, so it's here. Let me drop the poll for you here. Taco Vix, here you go. There you go. Polls associated with that live stream. So where are we coming from, guys? What really was the determining factor or the determining level that got us all the way up here? Right. The bull's ability to maintain price and fight for that daily close, for that previous day close. Right. We got above it, we got below it, we got above it, we got below it. They finally said, hey, you know what? We're going to pick it up here. And just from a logical standpoint, if you can pay for something at the price it was the previous day, it's not a bad offer. Right? There's a saying that says the cheapest you're going to get anything for is today. Right? So the cheapest you're going to get anything for is today. Because in 5 years, in 10 years, everything will always be more expensive. Does anyone live in a big city, metropolitan area? Growing up, I used to take the train. Right? I used to take the train, the subway to school and back. And we used to pay like 55 cents per ticket. Okay? 65 cents per ticket. This is like when I was a student. So this is like in middle school. Now, that ticket is close to $3. Okay? Look at that. Okay, that's almost a 400% increase. 4x. No, Toronto. 416-647. I lived in London for a year. Missed it too. It's called the TTC in Toronto. So we're starting to reject. If you took that rejection, enjoy the slide. If you took that break, there's nothing for you to take. If you try to take that early entry, just stop out. Don't use that early entry as a way to scale in and do something elaborate. Okay? Unless you've proven to yourself that you can do that, don't do it. That's that orb high too. Yeah, it is. That's the orb high as well. So if you're waiting for that 15-minute orb, it's finally the high of that orb. It's finally presenting itself here. Yeah, that is that orb high. Thanks for the heads up, Dr. Jones. So orb high as well as that, PMH. Can you say that again? I want to write it down. We're all in the business of buying back our time. Or I have no clue. Kiddo 313. Sometimes I just. I don't remember what I fully said. You can rewind. Maybe you can rewind. All right. You can rewind and try to see what I said. Again, guys, these episodes, you can treat these episodes as individual courses. I don't hold back. Every episode, I try to give everything I can. All right, everything. As far as technicals, as far as whatever I see, as far as what I feel is in the atmosphere that needs to be discussed, it's open for discussion. All right? So there's always something in each episode. For the ones who are diligent and for the ones who go back and really take it serious, there's so many things to unpack in each episode. All right, but for the ones who are just focused on the trades, that's also there. But just think of it like this: the trading is just a candy. There's something greater behind the purpose of our channel. Okay? The trading is just the candy. It is just to bring everyone in. There's a deeper purpose behind this channel. You'll see. All right? You'll see. I spoke to my soul. Thanks for trying to keep it as is. 50 in that 597.46. Retest right there. Monthly upside target. Retest along with that 50. If VIX continues to push lower, that could be a nice little scalp there. Again, in the face of that rejection. See if you can wick back to the upside. If you can wick back to the upside, it can be legit. If it slices right through it, shows minimal respect for it, slide to the downside and coming. Come on, break the orb, wear the yellow line, we'll stop. They might do 600. I wouldn't be surprised. If they can keep it above, let's just say that they can keep it above this 9, right? This 597.11 or even this 596.18, that 20 on the hourly, and say we just close right here. I wouldn't be surprised if we gap up above 600. I mean, do I love that enough for me to take a swing? No. Just a guess. All right? Just a guess. If you did take this, manage accordingly. Okay? Know where your stop is, know where your exit is. Worst case scenario, know where you're going to leave. You're taking this bounce in the face of in the face of a rejection of resistance. Okay? Look. All you have to do at this point is just let the probability play out. You get stopped out, you get stopped out. It works, it works. Spoke to my soul. It's all no worries, yep. Thanks for trying to keep it as is. No problem. Kiddo 313. Again, guys, make sure to like. We usually go live from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So this is a little bit different. Okay, so if we get enough traction for power hour, we might add a power hour stream. It just depends what the demand is. We have the supply. It's just a matter of meeting the demand. Okay, we're holding that level as of now. See if that level can hold. So if you did take that, okay, so your risk, you can use your risk. It can be all the way here. That'll be a little wide. All right, if you want to have just an arbitrary risk, maybe into this low 27.37 cent risk. If you did take that, starting to bounce there, manage accordingly. Who took that? Beautiful. If we can hold above 597.58, 597.59, should be good to go. I just make sure you're taking profits. You see profit, you take profit. If you're confident, let the runner do the work. All right, so talked about this taking place, identified it, provided the idea. How are we looking, team? Are most of you done? It looks like most of you might be done. But that was a nice little bounce there. So let's get 30 likes. What time is it? 2:14. 30 likes. We'll try to push it into power hour. Okay, if the action can pick up. Yesterday, as soon as we logged off, we had that massive move. A lot of you were able to catch it, right? So good job to the people in the Discord. So I made the comment yesterday where the people in the Discord, guys, we're like a pack of wolves. Whenever we see an opportunity, we're ready to pounce on that opportunity. That's how it's supposed to be. Some opportunities, we all have different trading styles, should ring the alarm for all of us. Some of the opportunities are so obvious that they can be seen on everyone's radar, everyone's trading style, everyone's indicator, whatever you use, it's gonna pop up. So whenever you get that, right, you have to jump on that opportunity. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Right? But when it does work, it works really, really well. If it doesn't, worst case scenario, you get stopped out as the cost of doing business. So it looks like we're rejecting off of that. If you took that rejection back to the downside, it looks like you're temporarily in control. Not much juice left to squeeze. CrowdStrike did report earnings yesterday, and I think they took a tumble, 7% tumble. Ticker symbol CRWD. Right. Sitting right at that 200. This actually might be a nice spot to pick up crowd. Anyone work in cybersecurity? Do we have any cybersecurity professionals? Give us some insight on the latest tools. In calls, great job. Nice bounce off that 50 and that 975, 97.46. Put in the chat, what year do you think SPY will be at 1,000? It's a matter of time, guys. Probably not this year, but at some point, what year do you think SPY is going to be at 1,000? It's going to be at 1,000 at some point in time. 2030? 2035? 2027? 2028? 2040? It's a matter of time. If we can get above those EMAs, fall back below that 597.46, tick back up on the VIX, we can see a potential breakdown below that 597.46. So basically SPY doubling. SPY going 100%. $20.31. So LYD, if you think SPY is going to be at 1,000 in 2031, wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't SPY be dirt cheap to pick up right now and hold for 5, 6 years. Right? So that's the kind of mentality. That's the kind of mentality we need to adopt. As much as we're scalpers, we also can't forget. It seems like, for me, it seems like I started trading yesterday, but it's many years have passed by. Same thing's gonna happen to you. So I promise you, the earlier you start, the more you can let the compound interest start working. Okay? Earlier you start. I know it seems expensive today. Okay, you're paying $6. If you say if you're starting today, if you want a DCA into SPY, dollar cost average, so put a certain amount every month. Okay? It might seem expensive today, but if you believe it's going to be at 1,000 in 2031, 2035, and if everything is lining up to look like that, it's actually dirt cheap. Look where it was 5 years ago. Right? Look where it was 10 years ago. Okay, the entire global economy is tied to SPY. In order for SPY to fully collapse, okay, some catastrophic things need to take place. If SPY collapses, that's it, guys. There's nothing for us. There's nothing left. So that's the beautiful thing. We get to trade this vehicle. If you trade individual names, tickers change. We've seen individuals tickers disappear. They have their time to shine, 1 or 2 years, they disappear. We've seen companies go under. So that bounce played out beautifully if anyone held that. Okay, so nice bounce right there. You can buy slices of SPY with some brokers, yeah. I think it's, what is it called? Fractional shares. Fractional shares. For my Canadians, right, the alternative to SPY, I believe, is VSP, ticker symbol VSP. And the ticker symbol for Qs, right, I have the Qs with a Canadian broker. The ticker symbol is XQQ, I believe. I've been taking a look at it for a while. XQQ. Yeah. So that's in the TSX. So we have a lot of Canadian people joining us. So VSP, right? That's Vanguard S&P 500. Take a look at VSP and take a look at XQQ. Those are the equivalents of SPY and the Qs. If you're using, you can also buy SPY and the Qs, but if you want to use your Canadian dollars. By the way, Canadian dollars, the exchange rate is horrible. If you want to use that, you can use XQQ and VSP. Those are the equivalents. Book profits on calls, great job, right? Two things converge, take advantage, the opportunity was there. So at some point in time, guys, you can almost identify these opportunities. The question is, do you want to continue to put on more risk? All right. Yep. If you look where SPY was in late 1999, it was at $90. Right. So we'll say SPY's at 600. Okay, 600. All right. So that's 600% gain, right? 6x, close to 7x. So imagine trading SPY back then. Thank you for the stream. Absolutely. Again, guys, if you're profiting off the stream, right, use what you're making, leverage it, join the community. If you've been watching for some time, right, if you're a first-time viewer, subscribe, like, and watch a few episodes. If you're a long-time viewer, take the next step, all right? Take the next step. Make the commitment to yourself. At some point in time, the community will be closed off. When we hit a certain number, it's going to be closed off. The channel is going to continue to get bigger. The community is going to continue to get bigger. It's going to be closed off at some point. So you definitely want to get in. All right? So people ask me to make the prices, it's essentially basically for free. Right? Reduce the prices. I reduce the prices as much as I can. Right? So the people who join in April, they have a fixed price. In June, they have a fixed price. In May, they have a fixed price. In June, fixed price. July, okay? It's going to continue. All right? And again, boot camp should be wrapping up the boot camp probably third week of June, right? Third week of June, fourth week of June, that should be ready. SmartActionTrading.com. Free boot camp, first cohort. Go to courses. It's the 1 hour trader. My goal is to make you a 1 hour trader. Okay, that's my goal. Go to boot camp. Click register now. It's going to be live. It's going to be 3 days a week. I've decided it's going to be 3 days a week. Okay, because I was thinking of doing it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but I'm considering doing it on nice breakdown there. I'm considering doing it on the weekdays. So you take the course, you have access to the community, and then you get to ask questions the very next. So it's going to be night courses. Okay, so probably 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 3-day boot camp. So you get to apply the things you learn right away. So of course, the first cohort, they're not going to get, unless you're in the Discord, you're not going to get the access to the Discord, but you get access to the boot camp. After that, the boot camp is going to be, for sale, live. And then with that comes access to the Discord. All right. So it's going to be game changing. My goal is to make you a 1 hour trader, one ticker, 1 hour for one consistent result. All right. You don't need to be trading 1,000 tickers, and the principles you learn, you can apply to any asset class. Futures, Forex, you name it. Okay. You name it. Nice breakdown there. Took some time to break down. You should be able to extract profits there. All right, now we're below that monthly upside target. VIX ticking higher. Retrace reject on the table if you'd like. So it looks like we're starting to push back lower after touching this thing for how many times? But did we get above that 597.95? No. The only group of traders who lost here, who are trying to go long, are the early entry folks. Early entry folks, if you get stopped out, stop out. Because guess what? If it does work in your favor, right, you're going to enjoy the early entry. If it doesn't work in your favor, cut it. So sometimes you can get burnt for early entry. Sometimes you can get rewarded, but make sure you're not getting annihilated. Okay. Make sure you're not getting. Make sure it's a first degree burn, not a third degree burn. Keep it first degree. Is there a fourth degree burn, or am I mistaken? It's first, second, third. In a put, great job, Vinod. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. So if you're just joining us, did already take 3 trades. All worked in my favor. Highlighted this opportunity here. Just provided some commentary of what could potentially take place. Let's see if this turns into a retrace reject. If it can't get above this level, there's a pretty decent retrace reject opportunity. Off of that 597.46. So again, guys, make sure to sign up for the bootcamp absolutely for free. Okay, smartactiontraining.com/bootcamp. And if you can't make it, you want the self-paced, there's going to be a self-paced one as well. We're going to start off with the live, and there's going to be a self-paced one, which is pre-recorded that you can just purchase and keep. All right, for reference. The live one, make sure you make the time to attend. It's live. All right, it's live. It's gonna be run just like a classroom. Basically, like you're taking a night class at a university or a college. Same thing. Okay, nice reclaim there. If you took the retrace reject, you get stopped out. That's it. Tavita, how's it going, Tavita? How are we looking, strikers? Who sees what I see? Potential? Or is it just a mirage? So another shift. So we're in this is probably the furthest we traded. So first shift, second shift, third shift, fourth, fifth. We're in 6 shifts. So if you took any trades in 6 shift, mental check, same thing. Okay. Healthy pullback for me for a bounce, daily upside breaker, VWAP, hold above daily open, right here. Outside of that, I'm in observation mode. In a perfect world, what I would like to see is this pennant to play out, or this compression. Just compress, 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 right? Continue to do this. Treat this as resistance. Treat that as resistance. Treat that as support, and then boom. Of course, we're going to get some traffic up here. And then this can be a great gateway to potentially entertain what's up there. Of course, that's in a perfect world. All right? So that's the only thing I'll entertain. Comes into this territory. Dead upside breaker. Between that 597.08, 596.96. Bounce. If you're a first-time viewer on YouTube, let me know what you typed in the chat to find us. Make sure to subscribe. We're about 60 subs away from 1,800. Let's try to get to 2K subs. Okay, 2K subs, that's the goal. Is your go-to channel for all things SPY, for all things trading education, is your go-to channel. So this week's lesson, in the Discord, I'm putting it together. Let me give you a small little preview. It's going to be awesome. Small little preview. Okay. It's going to be on my routine. Okay. You guys asked for it in the private community. I have a routine, a 3-layered routine. Pre-market, live trading, post-market. Okay, a small little review, small little preview. I'm working on it behind the scenes. That's going to be ready for you on Saturday. So make sure you attend that lesson this week in the Discord on the routine. My pre-market routine, what I look for to find higher probability setups and to get caught up with the broader markets in general. Okay, so it's a 3-phase process. Pre-market, live action, post-market. All right, so that will be ready for our weekly lesson on Saturday for the members. Thought we would break pre-market high already. I know. Everyone's waiting for this, JB. Everybody's waiting for this. I'm waiting for that too. So don't be blinded by this, guys. We're clearly pushing lower. We're starting to make this little downtrend here. Lower lows, higher lows. We still haven't impacted the broader trend. On the 5, there's not really a trend. We're literally just trading in a range. Right? So when we're trading in a range, treat resistance as resistance, treat support as support. So this is really what's going on. But on the 1 minute, we have the luxury of identifying trends within this. So within this, we can even identify the trends. We're starting to speed up here. Saw a couple of iceberg orders on the time and sale. What time is this? 6 p.m. Yep, 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern. We have the weekly recap on YouTube. I'm going to be live simultaneously on Google Meets for the members. Once we wrap up on YouTube, we jump right in to the lesson. All right? We jump right into the lesson. If you can't attend it, it's going to be pre-recorded. It will be available. But if you have any questions, right, it's best to attend it live. It's best to attend it live if you have any questions. And the questions are really good because when I get those questions, that might be things I can cover that I didn't think about. Right? So it gives me an opportunity to cover on all the points. Awesome. I love the setup. So continue to answer the poll question, guys. I just registered and didn't get a link. So, okay, so let me get your link right now. So once I get your email, Artem, I think it was Artem. Yeah, Artem. Yeah, you have to be the member of the Discord to attend the live. That's for the members. So I don't see your purchase yet, Artem. So I'll give it some time. Once I see their purchase, the email will be sent to you. You'll follow the instructions there, and then we'll send you a link to join the server. Once you join the server, you will pop up here notifications, and I'll give you the permissions that you need. All right. So again, to run through the server real quick, guys, you get access to the live news feed, pre-market plan, post-market recap. So every morning I send a pre-market game plan. This morning, even though I wasn't trading, look at the level I told the team to pay attention to. Okay? Even though I wasn't trading, you still get the pre-market game plan. All right. Post-market recap every single day. This is a robust database of all the action. Live trading, video, June alerts, June chat, chart requests, automated levels. So you get access to my technicals with all the levels from TradingView and all my indicators, watch list, and my all the indicators will be available here as well. So I'm working on some indicators as well in the background. All right, so that's some of the things you get when you join. So where's my chart? Okay, so SAT, smartactiontrading.com/community. So Artem, did you register for the community or did you register for the boot camp? Okay, so if you're looking to join, here. click this link. All right? Right here. Close this. Okay, no worries, no worries. I thought you did. So I just want to make sure, because if someone signs up, I want to make sure they get access as soon as possible. All right? No worries. Awesome. I love the setup. Absolutely. Chase, hi. What's up, Chase? So if you're joining us for the first time, we usually go live at 9 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. We host the most comprehensive pre-market program, followed by live trading. Live trading, live education, live Q&A, live community. All right. So just be mindful, YouTube does have a 30-second delay. And all the content you see is for educational purposes. Look how dirt cheap the calls are. Just because they're cheap, it doesn't mean they're valuable. All right? Just because they're cheap, it doesn't mean they're valuable. So let's get 30 likes. If we can get 30 likes, we'll trade in Power Hour. We'll push this thing near the close. All right? 30 likes on YouTube. We'll push this thing into the close. And let me know in the chat up until this point. Are you green? Are you red on YouTube? Right. How are we looking? How are we looking? Put it down. If you're done for the day, let me know. If you're green, if you're red. Thought it would break that pre-market high already? Yeah, we're struggling. So this is the primary thing I'm waiting for, guys. Let me take off these EMAs. Kind of make it a little messy. There. So it took 3 trades already. All 3 of the trades worked in my favor. Trying to be as patient as possible. So if you watched yesterday's episode, for some reason, right off the open, I took like 6 trades. I think I got a little too excited. All right, kept getting stopped out. Finally, was able to catch a nice trade to the upside. Profits peaked at 51%, peaked at 70+%. Walked away. I was able to recover a little bit, walked away with a little green, with a little red, and then after the close, was able to catch a nice bounce off this 597.46 for a nice double-digit gain. So if I do see opportunities when I'm not live, I'll try to put in the Discord. Okay, if I do see those opportunities, okay, I'll just put the levels in the Discord. You're going to widen your stop, 30-cent stop. Here we go. This would be a 1-to-1, 1-to-2. Perfect world. We do the power hour shuffle. We break right through that. So 30 likes, guys. Let's get 30 likes before 3 o'clock. If we can get 30 likes before 3 o'clock, we will stay until power hour. Hopefully this thing doesn't break prematurely. Hopefully it doesn't break prematurely. In a call, you're taking that break at that 597.46. Look at that ATR, guys. 32 cents per 5-minute candle. 32 cents per 5-minute candle. $0.32 per 5. If you did take it, hold about 597.46. what you're looking for. Just manage risk. Know where your exit is, worst case scenario. Know where your egress is. So we got 14 people on YouTube Shorts. Make sure to double tap the screen. Let us know where you're joining from. Subscribe. Close to 20 people on the regular stream. Again, like the video. 30 likes. We will stay past 3 p.m. So today was a great example on how, hey, you know what? Pick your shifts. Stick to your shifts. What setups to look for during the shifts. All right, so 3 setups, even though I wasn't able to trade first, second, and third. Was able to jump into third shift, latter half of third shift, squeeze single digits here for nice retrace reject, right? Took the calls here, nice push to the upside. Took the puts here for nice reject. So this strategy works. Any shift you're trading, you just have to be aware of what the conditions are and just try to keep the entries as close as possible to those key levels. And if you want to learn how to draw these key levels on your chart, there's an ebook on my site. Go grab that ebook. 21 page, the most comprehensive 21 pages you'll read. Okay, key levels, inefficiencies, how to spot high probability setups, confluence. Unlocking algorithmic day trading principles. Okay. We're stalling here to kick off 5th shift. We're inside previous 4 shifts range. So 4 shifts range. Essentially what I'm looking for here is a grab of 4th shift liquidity. All right. Okay, see if we can see. Not really getting any movement here. Not really getting any movement. Right, we're still on this temporary bearish channel. The reason why I call it bearish, right, is because we're making lower highs and we're making lower lows. Until we get into this territory, that's when I want to see that pop. That's when I want to see that pop. So this gives me more confluence and more confidence. More confluence, more confidence. We have VWAP 1 there. We have VWAP 2 there. We have 4th shifts lows there. So this is what I like. I'll give it until that daily open. Right? That's what that is. Right above that daily open will be my risk. Will be my risk. Contracts are dirt cheap. Contracts are about to expire. So you need to understand that it's a different environment. Theta is kicking in. If you've never traded at this time, don't touch anything. Just watch. I'm using less and less and less eyes. I might even go out to tomorrow. I'm going to go to the next day. Looks like it took place there. All right. Hopefully it can come back. As I was shuffling for contracts, it came right to the entry. If you caught it, manage accordingly. All right. Best setups. Look at that. Look at that. So manage accordingly, guys. As I was shuffling between contracts, couldn't capitalize on it. So don't have expectations of this thing going to the moon. Just take it step by step. If you can collapse one more time, what I want here is I want it to collapse one more time. If it can come back one more time, I'll be there. In call, great job on catching that, Venkat. Okay, see if we can come back one more time. Looking at the 597.1 DTEs. Okay. Let's see if we can come back a little bit more. Okay, now wick out. Now I want it to win nasty selling here. If we can wick out, if we can wick to the upside, I'll be there. That was a nasty, nasty candle. If we can wick out of there, that'd be great. VIX is starting to pick up. That was actually a nasty candle. So if you got filled there, if you took profit, you survived. If not, you just get stopped out. If we can wick back above it, I'll entertain it. Just waiting for confirmation here. VIX is showing some strength. We're right at daily open here. We're right at the daily open. We're right at the daily open. Question is, do bulls want to protect that daily open? If they can't protect it, bears are going to start pushing this thing lower. Or below VWAP 1. On the 5, if we can hammer on the 5, that would be great. So if this candle on the 5, if the bottom of this candle can start forming wick, if it can start wicking back to the upside, that would be great. If we reclaim that this level of 597.05, I'll entertain it. Reclaim, we'll entertain. So we're right at the daily open. So we're basically back to where we started. So if you're curious on what kind of day it's been, it tells you everything you need to know. It's a doji. Although we're directional, we're bullish directional in comparison to the previous day. Intraday, it's a doji. So keeping a close eye on this 5-minute candle here. Keeping a close eye. See if we can pick up some speed here. Get back above. Okay, see if I can take it there. Okay. Okay, got filled. 1 DTE contracts. See if we get that continued push. Same risk. See if this candle can hold. If we break below these lows down here, I'll look to exit this position. Up 1%. So granted, 1 DTEs are going to move a little slower. So I'm priced to reclaim VWAP 1. I want this 5-minute candle to turn into a shooter. I don't want this to turn into a retrace reject. If we break below these lows down here, so it's more like this. If we break below these lows down here, all right, got to get out of there. See if we can push like that. So 1 DTEs. See if we can continue this and reclaim that VWAP. So this is the 4th trade of the day. So this 5-minute candle has about 1 minute and 18 seconds left. So for the next minute and 18 seconds, I want the close of this candle to be above VWAP 2. I would like the close of this candle to be above VWAP 2 when it's all said and done for this 5-minute candle. Okay. Position is currently flat. Again, I'll give it about a 10% leash max. Risk is into these lows, 595.84. Okay, let's see if we get that continued push. Okay, this is the fourth trade of the day. Okay, we're starting to rock and roll here. See if we get that continued push higher, convincing push. I'm so used to zero DTEs, the speed of zero DTEs, that one DTEs. All right, I want it to move faster. All right, so we're rocking and rolling here. Now on VWAP to hold, VWAP 1 to hold, 597.09. See if we can hold above that level. Get that continued push. I like how this 5-minute candle is shaping up. All right, so we're 5 minutes away, guys. 5 minutes away from 3. 30 likes will continue to stay past 3 on YouTube. If you did take that trade, manage accordingly, okay? High risk endeavor. If you've been trading from this morning, you should be done. You should be done by now. Should be done. See if you can hold above VWAP. Position is flat. Did see like 2%. I did see 2%. Maybe I'll give it about a 5. So less than 10% wiggle room to the downside. Okay, now we have an inside candle on the 5. See if we can go 2 down, 2 up. Down 1. We're back below VWAP 1. See if we can get back above it. So I want this daily open, that 596.96 to step up. I want buyers to protect this 596.96. All right, if we fail below that 596.96, hold below it, we can see a potential slide to the downside. So the key battleground is at 596.96. Piano keys here. So we're 1 like away, guys. Let's get 30 likes before 3. 4 minutes away from 3. So let me know if you took that. There. So if you took the zero DTs, you should probably be up percentage-wise a little bit more. All right. I took the 1 DTs to be safe, so I can sit through a little bit. If the VIX can start dumping, that'd be fantastic. So something big is brewing. Something big is brewing. Of course, I want it to go to the upside. I want bulls to step in. If we break close below that 596.96, I have to consider parting ways with this idea. So if you're just joining us, this is the fourth trade of our program. 3 trades work in our favor. This is possibly the last trade of the session. So make sure to like the video if you're on a sustained to power hour. Near the end, near the close, let's get 30 likes before 3 o'clock. As long as I'm in this position, I'll stay on Discord and I'll stay on the Google Meet, so members, you don't have to worry. See if we get an explosive move. We just need some buyers to step in. If the level 2 time on sale can start speeding up, that'd be great. Inside on the 5. So we want hammer. If we can hold this inside candle and go 2-1-2 reversal, that would be fantastic. So we're about 1 minute and 32 seconds left on this 5-minute candle. Added some calls, managed accordingly, Vincat. Okay, make sure we get 30 plus likes and subscribe, guys. If you're a first time viewer, let us know where you're joining from. Down 1%. Down 2, down 3. Don't like that. My stop loss is down here. 596.84. Trading the 1 DTEs. Down 4. Not liking how it's looking. We're just trying to be patient. Let it play out. So let's see how many likes we got. 30 likes. We'll stay past 3. Well, at least let this trade play out. Okay, good job. 30 likes. Man, the amount of back and forth we're seeing, the amount of battling we're seeing at this level, right? It's shaping up to be a pretty significant move upcoming. Okay. We're battling for that daily open. Both parties are trying to step up. Both parties are applying pressure. I'm down 3. If we break below 596.84, close below that, I have to part ways. Using the 1 DTEs, if we can reclaim that, continue to push higher, that'd be great. Double inside, so this 5-minute candle will tell us a lot. So it's either we go 2-on-2 continuation or 2-on-2 reversal. We're below both VWAPs. That's a little bit concerning. That might favor the bears for now. We need to work our way back above VWAP 1 and VWAP 2. A little concerning for the bulls at the current moment. All right, still in the position, trying to let it play out. If I was in a 0 DTE, I would not be in the position. I'll look to take profits right there, probably like 4 or 5%. Lock it in, reassess, re-engage. Okay, let's see if we can get back above VWAP 1. So bulls are protecting that 596.96. They're doing everything they can to protect it. Anyone take that on the Discord? Team, how are we looking? Anyone take that? Okay, let's rock and roll. See if we can hold. See if we get that continued push. 0 DT, that's a nice pop. That's why I love the 0 DTEs. 1 DTE, that's a 3% move. Granted, it's more costly. So it's a better dollar move, a dollar amount. See if we can continue to push higher here. If you did take this, manage accordingly. If you've been sitting through a lot of that drama, make sure you get compensated for sitting through the pain. All right. Now on price to stay above VWAP 1, 597.09. 597.09. Bull cycle started. Yeah, hopefully. Right. I'd love a bull cycle to start. Okay, let's see if we get that continued push. Still in the position. Did see 3%. It's a nasty push back lower by the bears. They're fighting. All right, we're getting close to power hour, so things can get a little erratic. All right, but the likelihood of us closing right here, very low. The likelihood of us closing right where we open, very low. So in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to get separation away from this daily open. Which side we're going to be on, we'll find out. Which side am I favoring? The one I'm positioned in, the longs. Okay, to the upside. A lot of back and forth. See if we get that clean push to the upside. I don't want this candle to go 3 up. Again, we're just hugging VWAP 2. Okay. Going piano keys here. Okay, I would like some buyers to step in here. Again, guys, if you want the real-time, no delay stream, link in the description, link in the Discord, smartactiontrading.com/community to access all the resources and tools you need to capitalize off these kind of setups, okay? So we got 31 likes. We'll stay until this trade plays out. So this is our 4th trade of the session. Let's see if we can close out the day with a clean win rate, 100% win rate. They're making us wait for this one here. Still in the Vincat? How are we looking, Vincat? Anyone else in this? And Dr. Jones, you're in? They're making us wait for this. Are you in it with zeros? Dr. Jones, or 1 DTEs, 2 DTEs? Zeros. Scale down, okay. Probably getting a nicer move. At peak, I saw a 3% move, so probably saw 5 to 7% move on those zeros, depending on entry. I love the zeros. Zero scale down. Smart decision. Man, we are just hugging this level here. Again, the longer we hug it, the more likelihood we get a pretty significant move. I like how the VIX is dumping here. This might be a tell. This might be a tell. Spy, if you're going to move, start moving here. This might be a tell. If we can stay above 596.96, right, we can just pop right here into that 597.46. Okay. This is our opportunity to pop into 597.46. Yeah, we'll probably drop down to 595.70 in my opinion. Okay. See if you get that pop. Again, I know where my risk is. I'm trading the 1 DTEs, giving myself some time, because for those 0 DTEs, your back is really, really against the wall. If moves are not taking place, you're losing. All right. So very rarely do I trade 1 DTEs or the weeklies. I'm 90% of the time I'm 0 DTEs because I love the speed of the 0 DTEs. I want to be right or wrong fairly quickly. Okay. I want to be right or wrong. I'm patient when it comes to waiting for my setup, but I'm impatient when it comes to letting the things play out. All right, so when I'm in, I want to get validated fairly quickly. That's where my edge lies. We're still hugging VWAP 1 and VWAP 2. We're above that daily open. VIX is starting to dump. See if VIX can pursue that 1741. We don't want any interruptions off of the 1750. We have room to go. Let's see if we can start moving here. Down 3%. So this ate up a lot of premium, guys. Been sitting in this position for quite some time. If we close below 596.96, close and hold below it on the 5. Right, 596.96, close and hold below it on the 5. I got to part ways. As much as I love it, I don't want to give anything up to theta. Okay. Okay. So I don't want to close below this on the 5. There you go. No closes below this bold red line on the 5. That's my risk. That's my risk. No, we can come into it and wick, but close, got to get out of there. Down 4, 5. I'm going to close it there. At 6. Okay. Stop that at 6%. Stopped out 6%. If this lines up again, I can reassess and retake it. Okay, but I don't want this thing to flush on me. So stopped out here 6%. Okay. Sat in that thing for a while. So stopped out there 6%. It's below my stop. So I want no parts of it. So keeping the wrist tight. Did see some 2%, 3% opportunity, but I was really trying to use this setup to see a pop to the upside. So my intentions was to take this to the upside, knowing that we can get a pretty significant reaction based on where we were. The opposite thing takes place. So I cut. Stopped out 6% there. Okay. So 3 trades. Stopped out once. If we can get above this level with strength convincingly, I can reassess and re-engage. Okay? Very ugly. Very, very ugly. So now we're at 310, guys. Nice bounce off that TOG. Those 0 DTEs are dirt cheap. Again, cheap does not mean valuable. Just because something is cheap, it doesn't mean it's discounted. Okay? Theta is taken into effect. Theta is kicking in. So I'll probably live with those results. 3 trades, 4 trades, 3 in my favor, 1 worked against me. But this thing is this potential breakout is looking very, very appealing, right? But it's pinned against the close. Pinned against the close. If you want to be risky, if you're looking for that breakout, if you want to be risky, if you're okay with risk, break and close about 597.08. That's your best bet. Okay, that's your best bet. Outside of that, I might not touch this thing. I'm gonna close up shop. So got stopped out there. Okay, if your best bet, break and hold above 597.09 to catch it to the upside. Yeah, very ugly. So this is a consolidation day. Consolidation day. So even if you're directionally right, it needs to be right away. You need 2 rights. You need to be right directionally, and it needs to happen right away. Right and right away. You're going to lose money if it's not happening right away. If you can be right, if it's not taking place right away, you lose. So you need to be right, and it needs to happen right away. Okay? Not in a few, right away. How are we looking, Venkat? You're still in the calls? So worst case scenario, if you did take the 1 DTs, you're probably seeing maybe max a 10% drawdown. Right? So if you want to stretch it, just use this key level as your final line in the sand. 596.79, 596.80. Again, guys, we usually go live, our usual program. Tomorrow's going to be episode 62. We've been doing this for 62 consecutive trading days, right? We go live from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. Most comprehensive pre-market program followed by live trading. All right. Today we shifted our schedule. I had a special event, so I definitely had to make time for that. That's really important to me. Okay. So again, that's the usual time. And if this is your first time tuning in, make sure to tune in on the regular scheduled program, regular hours. Still in the call? You're still in? Venkat? If you're on that breakout, we're diverging. Where are my divergers? Might take a lotto. Lotto 0 DTE is looking tempting for that break. Right. But the idea is holding up. The idea is there. The idea is there. The 597s are $50 for one con. Right. Again, power hour trading, completely different. All right, you're facing different variables. Your back is up against the wall. There's a algo that takes into effect. You start getting all sorts of, in most cases, some volatile actions. See if this can break out. The only thing I can see for bulls is this breakout case. Case of the breakout. So let me know in the chat, guys. Yeah, it is burning. It is burning. Let me know in the chat. How did you end the day? Are we green? Are we red? Are we break even? Okay. Green meaning you're profitable. You're walking away with more than you came into the day with. Red means you're walking away with less than you came into the day with. Break even means you're relatively walking away unscathed, or give or take plus minus a few points. All right. So how are we looking, guys? How are we looking on YouTube, on the Discord? The primary objective is to make sure we're green on the week. A lot of you crushed it yesterday. Some of you crushed it this morning as well. So again, if you stayed clean, kudos to you. If you didn't take any trades today, right? Today might have been a good day not to take any trades. There was a lot of traps. If you were on the right direction, if you were trading support resistance, today was your day to shine. Today was your day to shine. All right, but there were opportunities, right? But those large gains like yesterday, they were far few in between. If you did capture those, you had to sit through a lot of drama. It wasn't smooth sailing. You had to sit through a lot. You had to maybe see some drawdown a few times to really capture those kind of opportunities. Okay, so regardless where you are in the spectrum, there's an opportunity tomorrow. Tomorrow there's an opportunity. And tomorrow's opportunity might be better than today's opportunity. Okay, so make sure you don't want to miss tomorrow's episode. Show up bright and early, 9 a.m., and get ready to capitalize off the best opportunity. Not every opportunity, the best opportunities. From my end, I wasn't looking to do too much, knowing that I was engaging in a different shift. Okay, just looking for those small profits, looking to take minimal risk. Worked out, stopped out. All right, so fairly straightforward. The things I'm looking to do, I'm still looking to improve and do less during first shift. All right, looking to do less during first shift. During first shift, I've been doing a little too much. I've been doing first shift. There should just be 1 to 3 trades. That's my comfort zone. All right, typically we're maximum 3 trades. Typically, I want to stay between that 3 to 5 for the entirety of the day. Okay, so still looking to make that adjustment. Still looking to close out the week green. Okay, still looking to, again, don't lose sight. It's just the beginning of the month. All right, if things are not going the way you wanted, it's one thing to write in your journal. Is another thing to follow it. If things are not going the way you wanted, put a hard stop to it. Okay? Put a hard stop to it. Put your foot down and say, hey, you know what? We're going the wrong way. Let's make sure we're headed the right way. Don't wait until things completely blow out of proportion and it's too far to turn back. So make sure you're reassessing, you're re-engaging, you're making the proper improvements from shift to shift, day to day, week to week, so on and so forth. All right? So from the looks of it, for those of you who responded, no trades today. Today's range wasn't even worth it. Yeah, it wasn't. One trade break even, not much interest for me today. We'll watch normally brick wall overhead. Trigger sell off coming into close. That's what it looks like. After hours is going to be crazy. Yeah, probably that. I wouldn't be surprised if they gap this thing up above this level after hours. 15 minutes low of the day. After market closed, they're going to pump it up. That's what I'm thinking too, VIX. 4 hour looks tired. Yeah, so again, a lot of you have been looking at the markets, guys, since this morning. So again, good job on you not trading out of boredom, right? Knowing what's your setup, knowing what conditions are ideal for your setups, and saying, hey, you know what, today's not the day for me. This is what I'm looking for. So great job on exercising self-control and discipline. Okay, so on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to join the Discord if you want access to all the resources. All right, you get access to all the resources once you join. Link in the description. Smart Action Trading / community tab. That's where you get it. We trade one ticker, SPY, 1 hour. That's the goal, right? So if you work full time, if you work part time, you still can fit this in your day. I typically trade from 9, so from 9:30 to 11:30. That's my window. But had to go take care of something. Jumped on in. The system works for any kind of You can do it part time. You can do it full time. You can do it every other day. You can do it once or twice a week. Pick your shift, master your shift, apply the principles, allocate risk properly, manage risk properly, and over time, you'll have more than you came in with. All right, that's the whole objective. All right, so again, if you're a first-time viewer, we usually go live from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for tuning in. Unfortunately, I'm down 100 USD today. Was playing the breakdown of the level. I lost 4 trades as the market did not break through. Yeah, a lot of this action we're seeing. Look at that, guys. Did you see that? Look at that. Did you see the algo? Did you see that wick? That wick was so quick that it didn't even last a minute. You see that? We can see what the algo is doing. Stop loss worked absolutely, Artem. Sometimes we get stopped out 4 times in a row. But as long as it's within your risk, you can come back. If you're taking catastrophic losses 4 times in a row, right, your confidence is shot. Okay? The one thing about trading, before we leave, I want you to understand this. The one thing about trading, one thing you can't measure, the intangible that doesn't show up on the chart, the intangible that doesn't show up in your routine, the intangible that doesn't show up anywhere else, and you can't quantify, that you can't measure, is your confidence. Okay? Your confidence as a trader is critical. The way you see yourself as a trader, the way you see your setups in comparison to everything else that's going on is critical. And taking those massive blows has a direct negative impact on your confidence. A trader who loses his confidence, right, it's going to take so long to get it back up. Because even when your trades are there, you're too hesitant. So again, stop losses. Another reason why stop losses are important, respecting your risk, is because it keeps your confidence intact. All right. If I take 4, 5, 6 trades, guys, and it's all within my risk, of course, I don't like those things to play out. I have to deal with it. But my confidence is not going anywhere. I've been there before. Right. I've worked my way out of it before. Okay. My setups have provided that opportunity before. But if I'm taking 60, 70, 80, 40, those significant losses, it doesn't matter how confident you are. Okay? You're going to start being shaky. Because now, every trade you open up, you're afraid to lose. Since you're so afraid to lose, you can't even sit through anything. You can't let it play out. So what ends up happening is you get stopped out too quickly. And then it goes in your direction. So you were right, but you were wrong. Okay, so very important to protect your confidence as a trader. Very, very important. The one way you can do that is by making sure you take measured risk. If you're going to lose, Make sure those losses are within your risk. Okay? So make sure you protect your confidence. By all means, protect your capital, protect your confidence, protect your mental capital as well. All right? So very important that you do that. Thank you for the kind words, George. God bless you. God bless you too, Artem. All right. So if you have any other questions, let me know in the chat. If not, we're going to end it here. It was an awesome episode. Hopefully you guys found value. 4-hour consolidating here. Can't break 598. Either we dump back the 4-hour trend line and then back up. 4 hours done. Yeah, I agree. 598 is impossible. Needs to fill gas and take the breather for all-time highs. Yeah, absolutely. So okay, so we'll end it here, guys, on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like tomorrow 9 a.m. All right, tomorrow 9 a.m. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless each one of you.